Would it be fair to say when we were in our 20s and when we were in our 30s and maybe just a few years ago, we could be a little more hot-headed than we are today?
I mean, absolutely. I'm a totally different person than what I was in my 20s.
Do you think we would have liked cruising in our 20s?
That part of it, no. I think I would have lost my mind.
Yeah, you would have been freaking out on something.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm a little bit like that, too. I was thinking about this the other day.
I'd be like, where do you think you're going? Don't you think you're cutting that line? I would have been one of those people, I think.
That's true. I think you would be, too. I was trying to think about that the other day. Would I like cruising? So we started cruising when we were 46, just about 2.5-3 years ago. We're going to be 50 soon.
Oh, stop.
Oh, my goodness.
Not yet, though.
But that's what I was trying to say. I enjoy cruising as somebody in my mid to late 40s. Would I enjoy cruising as a 20-year-old? There's this misconception or conception that cruising is for older people 40 and older. And I was trying to think, Tony as a 20-year-old, say before marriage, before kids, would I have gone to go cruising? And there are things on a cruise ship that I liked in my 20s that I would have liked. I was always into shows and entertainment. I like to see people have a good time. I like music. I like that stuff. So I think I definitely would have enjoyed cruising when I was in my 20s. But to be honest, I don't think I would have enjoyed cruising on, say, Celebrity or Princess when I was in my 20s. I think the personality of those cruise ships fit me better in my mid-40s than they would have in my 20s. So it really made me start to think about cruise ships and cruise lines having personality. And I think there would have been a cruise ship out there for me when I was 20 years old that I would have had a good time on.
Oh, I mean, absolutely, right. And I think I would have enjoyed cruising in my 20s, right? But I think that the lines and some of the other things, I wouldn't have had the patience for at that age. And I think also having gone cruising so much later in life than some people, I appreciate it so much more. I appreciate the beauty of the ocean and just chilling and relaxing and knowing that it's not an all-day party and, those sort of things. I have to kind of stop myself sometimes because the overwhelming feeling of being so grateful to have these opportunities, just kind of just flow sometimes, right?
Yeah.
Like you say, you're just in the moment.
Yeah.
And there are some times that in the moment, it just kind of overwhelms you of gratitude.
And you think that's probably a 40s thing, or do you think it's just...
Yeah, because I mean in my 20s, I didn't, I wasn't pompous or anything, but I wasn't so grateful for life and time.
Yeah, I think at that age, not enough stuff's happened to you, right?
Right.
When you get to our age, a lot of life changes happen, right?
Life changes, life experiences, right?
I mean, the people that have been in your life are no longer in your life, just because that's the way the circle of life is, and maybe not so much in your 20s,
well, because you and I know how I am, right? I just always felt like, oh, I'm going to live forever.
Yeah.
My parents are going to be here forever.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, people that are the closest to you start leaving you.
Yeah.
And your life changes.
Yeah.
And your outlook on things change, and your time and the moments in life change.
Yeah.
How you feel about it.
I think I'm more reflective and grateful in my 40s than ever before in my life. And so I do think that brings an interesting perspective to when we're cruising, just being able to have those moments of gratitude. And I tell you what, sometimes the vastness of the ocean, and I mean, you really go to some places that are majestic where you really have a chance to go, this is a lot bigger than me. And I think that really, like you're talking about, it really opens your eyes. I don't think I would have been like when I'm 20, I'd be like, where's the next, show? Where's the next party? Where can I get a cheap drink? How much money do I have left before I can't get anything on my sale on sign? I think those would have been things. Now in our 30s,
you probably would have had sun poisoning back in those days.
I probably would, because I wouldn't have used sunblock.
That's
and
right.
I would have stayed out all day.
Right.
In our 30s, and that's when we met and we blended a family together of 6 small children, right? And so I'm pretty sure I would not have liked cruising. Super protective, right? I had a buddy that I worked with one time that told me he lost his kid at Walt Disney World. 4-year-old kid, lost him. Had him, lost him, didn't have him for 4 hours, and found him at the front gate of Walt Disney World.
Well, and that reminds me of when one of our sons was younger, he would hide in the middle of the clothes racks.
Right.
You know, and you would call out his name, and you would only find him because you would hear him laughing.
Right.
Because he thought it was funny.
Right. Without knowing the paranoia.
It's like, that's not funny.
That's one thing you don't ever want to do
No.
is lose your child. And so
No.
I think I would not have enjoyed cruising with all the kids.
Right.
But during that time, one of our favorite ways to celebrate our anniversary or to vacation would be to go to like a casino, see some shows, have some food, gamble a little bit. I think we could have done that on a cruise ship. So I think very comfortably in our 30s, we could have went cruising.
Right.
I just don't think I would have been a family cruiser because I would have been paranoid that, you know, am I going to lose a kid on the ship? That, you know, there's swimming pools and there's railings and my kids are rambunctious. And I don't think I could have cruised with the kid. I think I would have been a nervous wreck cruising with the kids.
I think so also. I think both of us, right? And I think that for me, it's, you know, get your clothes, let's get dressed, let's go eat. You know, so there's still a lot of being a parent.
Right.
You know?
That's what's wild about vacationing with kids is it's not a vacation. It's not really like a vacation. The cool thing about cruising though is we could have put the kids like in the kids club and it might have opened up some possibilities. But
absolutely. And you know what? It would have given the children also a chance to be, you know, world travelers. So I think that's why in my 40s I so appreciate that time on the cruise ship, right?
And the cool thing is, I am relenting. We have started to add some of our kids to cruising, so I'm very protective. I'm very protective of our cruising together because we've always said that when we got together, we had kids,
right? And
we spent a lot of time
raising and nurturing,
being parents of kids.
Yeah, absolutely.
And at the end of the day, like I love all of our kids,
absolutely,
but your life can't be completely about your kids because at some point they're not going to be here.
Right. And you know what?
And that's the situation. That's the situation we've been in. And so if you don't have
living their life,
if you don't have a connection together, then what do you got?
Right.
And so I'm super protective of this cruise life because I do see it as something that we share together, but it is selfish on my part because I believe our adult children would get a lot of enjoyment out of it. And so we've been fortunate. We got to take one of our daughters on a cruise with us, and we're going to get to cruise with some more of our kids. So slowly we're working it in. But so I think part of you know, we didn't cruise in our 20s and 30s. We've cruised some in our late 40s. We'll be cruising in our 50s and our 60s and our 70s.
Right.
What do you think that's going to be like? What do you say? So we got the next, let's look at it in decades, 50 to 60. What do you think that cruise life will be like as a 50-year-old?
I think 50-year-olds.
That's freaking old, man.
No, it's not. Come on.
Yeah.
I think that in our 50s, we're going to be doing a lot of those bucket list cruises, right?
Yeah.
Like the Alaska cruises, the Mediterranean, Australia. You know, I think it's going to be a lot of those kind of cruises. But yet also, you know, the Caribbean, you know, our love, you know. You know, and I think once we get to our 60s and 70s, I want to be on that ship for like 20 days at a time at that point.
Retiring on a cruise ship doesn't sound like a bad proposition.
No.
And it might financially make sense.
Absolutely.
That cruise life, folks.
That cruise life.